Naruto, 10 Shinobi who should reconsider their career path. While many of the Shinbo in Naruto are powerful figures, some are not exactly great at their job and should consider switching careers. The Naruto universe has boasted a wide array of shinobi that displayed extraordinary talent. Each character wields unique jutsu, motivations, and capacity, all to fulfill the expectations lofted on them since the time of their birth. However, not everyone who claims the mantle of shinobi is prepared to act as one. Some are unequipped for the position, whether for their lacking abilities or having the incorrect mindset to go about the task. By identifying the characters who aren't cut out for the ninja world, we have a more complete understanding of its steep requirements. 10. Choji's kindness almost got his team killed. Choji was a ninja of considerable ability, with many of his jutsu oriented around enhancing his size for devastating physical attacks. In theory, he fulfills all of the criteria necessary to become a capable combat shinobi. However, his kindness is a massive inhibition. After Asuma was resurrected and turned against his students, the young man struggled to muster the nerve to attack his former sensei in spite of how everyone around him begged for his assistance. This hesitation could have gotten his team killed and speaks unfavorably of his alacrity. 9. Yashimaru was an unskilled shinobi who threw his life away. Yashimaru was a medical ninja who looked after Gaara in the absence of his biological mother. Since he was still a vassal of Raza, the current reigning Kazekage, he was obliged to abide his will and attacked the Jinchuriki as a child. Predictably, his assassination attempt was a disaster. Not only was it emotionally devastating for all parties involved, but Yashimaru also did not even come close to wounding Gaara. Instead, he died a disgraceful death, having little to show for his dedication to the Kazekage. 8. Karen has low combat affinity despite frequenting battlefields. Karen was a medical ninja who assisted Sasuke in his journeys. Imbued with Uzumaki chakra and its famous healing properties, she was able to mend his wounds if he bit into her skin. Unfortunately, the kunoichi has never illustrated any inherent talent as a combatant through her own merits, instead playing a support role in dozens of active battlefields. This resulted in her capture by Danzo Shimura, though Sasuke would not hesitate to impale both of them simultaneously through a single concentrated chidori. Considering her commitment to the Rogue Uchiha, her poor prioritizing is another excellent reason to reconsider her vocation. 7. Yugo is a berserker that can't control himself. When succumbing to his curse, Yugo becomes a rabid berserker with little self-control or restraint. In this state, he fights with reckless abandon yet is not stronger than the series' more formidable characters proven through his defeat by the fourth Raikage in a single brutal punch. Considering that he is virtually useless without losing himself to his altered form and taking his naturally passive demeanor into account, Yugo would be best suited in a non-combatant role. 6. Tsukumo couldn't live with his disgrace. Tsukumo was a legendary ninja who went by the moniker of the White Fan. He served Konoha faithfully for many years but would place his comrades before the mission during an important operation. As a result, he was made a pariah by the entire village and succumbed to the consternation his reputation accrued. Overwhelmed by pressure, he took his own life with the knowledge that his final mission betrayed the inherent values of the shinobi world. This left Kakashi, his only son, as an orphan. 5. Ino's mind transfer is only situationally useful. Ino's mind transfer complements Shikamaru's shadow paralysis moderately well. However, it is lacking on its own merits since both she and her target need to be still in order for the cast to succeed. Consequently, it has seldom assisted the hero's efforts in the canon series in any tangible way. Considering that Nara now holds an office as the Hokage's advisor, this portends that her usual strategies will no longer be as effective since her companion will be reoccupied. Additionally, she has progressed the worst among the Konoha 11 since they were introduced, entailing that she has a depressingly limited amount of potential when compared to her peers. 4. Nono never wanted to be a ninja to begin with. Nono was Kabuto's adoptive mother and the leader of an orphanage. After Danzo approached her about joining his organization, she agreed under the stipulation that none of her children would be involved. This was a poor choice for a number of reasons. Not only would Shimura recruit Kabuto to supplement his roster, thereby eliminating the reason for her to volunteer, Nono herself lacks any unique jutsu and is not even a particularly talented spy. 3. Kakuzu's affiliation with the Akatsuki is counterproductive to his goals. Kakuzu is unique in the sense that he shouldn't reconsider his career as a shinobi. Instead, he must analyze his affiliation with the Akatsuki. The organization's goals are antithetical to his materialistic ambitions. Where they seek to cause global destruction, he pursues money exclusively. Considering that none of the Akatsuki's members are particularly affluent, there are a number of more viable ways he could have applied his talents. For instance, the villain would have made an excellent bodyguard to Gato, serving as an agent much stronger than Zabuza. 2. Haku only fights on Zabuza's order. Haku was an orphan who was adopted by Zabuza and felt a sense of uncompromising allegiance to him. Despite having none of the man's viciousness, he assailed Team 7 and made defending the innocent bridge builder all the more difficult. His defeat was exceptionally heartbreaking because he was only misguided. Should he have wandered into Konoha's borders before meeting the Mist Demon? It's likely that Haku would have been able to lead a fulfilling civilian life, one that isn't fraught with the perils of the shinobi world. Choosing a pacifistic career would be particularly prudent since his Kekkei Genkai is among the weakest of the series. 1. Zaku got humiliated, ultimately murdered. Zaku was a shinobi of the Sound Village whose body was enhanced by Orochimaru. His pipes were able to unleash a massive amount of slicing pressure that could stave off all of Konoha 11 at once. In spite of his strength and arrogance, he is a completely incompetent shinobi who lost every battle he was involved in and needed his comrades to even stand a chance against his adversaries. Worse yet, his master sacrificed him after his defeat in the Chunin exam in order to cast the Edo Tensei and revive one of the fallen former Hokage.